Nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy's a f***ing con man. Everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids, to being caught public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
Yeah.
Nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone-cold, narrative-driven politician. Nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, and you know that's a human being. With Newsom, you've got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person.
Gavin Newsom, if you're listening to this, you're a failure. Mayors are actually some of the most powerful people in the country. The police are responsive to the mayor. The building code's responsible to the mayor. The homeless, mayors are very, very powerful. So he was mayor of San Francisco. Would you let your son walk the streets of San Francisco unaccompanied at 1 a.m.? No, you wouldn't. I'm sorry. Your son can't walk the streets of the city that you were in.
Joe Rogan's no-filter honesty bombs combined with Charlie Kirk's bulldozer sarcasm? You get Gavin Newsom's political ego getting tossed into a dumpster blaze of his own creation. From hair gel to double standards, nothing is off-limits. Rogan and Kirk just shredded California's golden boy into political compost, and it's amazing. Get ready for the roast session Newsom never expected. Spoiler alert, his eyebrows weren't the only thing that got burned. Let's jump into the madness.
See the governor talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down. And he did this little dance. Show it to him, Jamie.
You had some ideas around some land use concerns around speculators coming in, buying up properties. Mm-hmm. We're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward.
The big smile on his face.
Clark, you guys are posting these cringe videos on social media.
What are the videos? What are the ones that
I don't know, this
cringy?
harmonious thing of 22 senators all saying the same thing.
Like that, yeah.
I don't like it. Go ahead, go do more of that.
What do you do?
Please.
What do you do? Seriously, Charlie Kirk, give us some.
Joe Rogan didn't need a suit, a teleprompter, or hair product to steamroll Gavin Newsom. All it required was a working mind and the skill to sniff out political nonsense from miles away. Newsom, on the other hand, paraded around California like he was the face of a shampoo ad that also serves as an environmental lecture. The guy talks about protecting the planet while flying around in his personal climate disaster.
I will say, if you look at Gavin Newsom's numbers, there's a Newsweek article, though. His numbers are down dramatically as far as favorability, trust, authenticity since he started this podcast. It's not going very well for him of how people view him. So for that, I will say that I think we have done a good job of exposing him for being the synthetic.
If you're enjoying this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon. You can almost hear Rogan's brain glitching from secondhand smugness every time Newsom spoke. The podcast host who can break down quantum physics while doing kettlebell swings couldn't figure out how California's self-appointed savior managed to burn every industry he touched, tech fleeing, Hollywood relocating, small businesses shutting down, and homelessness soaring faster than Newsom's ego.
The governor should step out and say no.
No, and I appreciate.
But would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. So that's easy to call out, the unfairness of that.
Why is it you were able to clean it up for Xi Jinping?
Oh, that was you guys. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. By the way, you guys weaponized that. I saw that on 25 things. It was the most ridiculous. That was, you know what? I will happily revert back to your counterpoint
as
weaponized. In this case, weaponized. Weaponized.
Charlie Kirk didn't even require caffeine to roast this guy. Just the newest stats from California's disaster report, also known as the morning news. Newsom rules like he's playing Sim City blindfolded and tipsy on kombucha. Kirk almost blew a fuse, highlighting that Gavin transformed the Golden State into a rusted wreck with palm trees.
When Gavin Newsom talks about California, he's like, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. Hey, they're all moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. It's too expensive to leave versus all the bullshit with all the permits and all that. It's too expensive.
The kicker, Newsom still believes he's presidential material because nothing says ready to lead a country, like being the living symbol of soaring taxes, human waste on sidewalks, and rolling blackouts. The guy is like a walking public service announcement for why people are fleeing blue states faster than cats escaping a dog park. Rogan couldn't hold it in. California used to be the dream. The beaches, the innovation, The culture. Now it's a Mad Max sequel sponsored by Whole Foods. And right in the middle of the chaos, there's Newsom flashing that fake smile like he just ended poverty while stepping over a tent city. Somehow, in his mind, this counts as visionary leadership. Even when Newsom tries to sound tough, it's like watching a labradoodle bark at a lion. His emergency declarations are just buzzword salads with no substance. His hair has more style than his policies. And yet he preaches with the confidence of a guy who thinks his Tesla powers the moon.
Gavin Newsom, if you're listening to this, you're a failure. Mayors are actually some of the most powerful people in the country. The police are responsive to the mayor. The building codes are responsive to the mayor. The homeless, mayors are very, very powerful. So he was mayor of San Francisco. Would you let your son walk the streets of San Francisco unaccompanied at 1 a.m.? No, you wouldn't. I'm sorry. Your son can't walk the streets of the city that you were in.
Joe Rogan's podcast has featured neuroscientists, astronauts, and top-tier thinkers. Then he turns to Newsom's press clips and finds the intellectual equivalent of a microwave beep. Gavin talks in vague cliches and polished emptiness. It's like getting a fire safety lecture from someone holding a flamethrower in a dry forest. Charlie Kirk didn't hold back either. He practically had a field day linking Newsom's policies to the flood of U-Hauls lined up at the state border like it's Black Friday at Target. People are leaving faster than Gavin dodges responsibility. He acts surprised when folks criticize him. Like, what do you mean the fires got worse after I slashed forest management budgets and blamed climate change? Newsflash, you can't solar panel your way out of bad management. But Gavin tries. Rogan roasted him so effortlessly it was a masterpiece. Watching Newsom try to explain why people are fleeing California is like watching a raccoon lecture on quantum physics. The guy thinks it's all politics. No, it's survival. People want water, power, and not to have to dodge human waste just to get to Starbucks.
Going on? Did you see what's going on? Obviously, you've seen what's going on in California. But the governor gave this creepy fucking speech where he was talking about speculators coming in and talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down while it's still only 6% contained. And he did this little dance like, I've been talking with these, with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We got some ideas. A speculator, we're gonna have some meetings. Like, he's
really?
Oh, show it to him, Jamie. It's so creepy because it's happening while these people their houses have been burned. All their childhood memorabilia, all the stuff for their kids, the photos, the fucking everything they have is gone. All heirlooms, their mother's wedding ring, that kind of shit. Everything's burnt to the ground. And this guy's like standing in front of all this stuff, and he's got a smile on his face, and he's talking about land use.
And let's not forget Gavin's favorite hobby, banning stuff. Gas cars banned. Freedom? Questionable. Logic? Missing. He rules like a guy who skimmed one paragraph of a climate blog and decided to play dictator for kicks. Every time his plans flop, he blames Texas, capitalism, or Mercury retrograde. Charlie Kirk lost it when he saw Gavin trying to virtue signal his way out of every disaster. One week it's climate change. The next, it's equity. Then it's some vague social justice crusade with all the depth of a kiddie pool. Meanwhile, actual Californians are stuck choosing between rent or groceries while Gavin tweets from a vineyard. Gavin governs with the subtlety of a sledgehammer wrapped in velvet. Joe Rogan didn't just laugh. He clinically diagnosed the Newsom effect. It's a condition where reality warps around your ego until you truly believe your failures are wins. You tell everyone the power grid's failing because of climate change, not because you swapped competence for slogans.
Base as exhibited as how they're acting in the streets and how they're acting in Congress is not moderating on these issues. In fact, I think this podcast might be ending Gavin Newsom's presidential ambitions, not preparing him for his presidential ambition. And so the final point I'll make is this, is that it wasn't just about Gavin, it was also about the tens of millions of people that were able to get their eyes open and say like, yeah, why didn't Gavin go stronger on the trans sports issue, or why didn't he do this? And now Gavin Newsom, I could say this, you're seeing this all across the board. He is under non-stop siege, and he's handling it.
Charlie Kirk didn't just keep records. He built a Costco-sized binder of everything Gavin Newsom has ever touched and turned to ruin. He basically rolled in with a scroll like an ancient monk of mismanagement, laying out every tax increase, ridiculous regulation, and virtue-signaling fiasco Gavin's ever concocted in his coastal lab of delusion. It wasn't just a list, it was a horror anthology filled with budget cuts and broken promises instead of ghosts. Here's a guy who thinks giving addicts hotel rooms with room service is a housing plan, who genuinely believes banning plastic straws is the path to utopia. Meanwhile, the sidewalks of San Francisco now resemble post-apocalyptic obstacle courses. Forget street signs. You need a GPS, an emotional support pet, and a Sherpa just to avoid stepping in something that'll require therapy later. But go ahead, Gavin. Declare war on gas stoves because obviously what's holding California back isn't rolling blackouts or crime surges, it's cooking appliances.
When I went there, I had a great relationship with President Xi. We got along very well. And they treated me better than anybody's ever been treated. And I said, this hair is good. Do you know they closed every factory 1 week before I got there from within 200 miles?
That's like what Gavin Newsom did when Xi Jinping came to San Francisco.
He cleaned it up.
He cleaned it up. He got rid of all
Isn't
the
that
homeless
terrible
people.
in a way to think, he cleaned it up and then it became a pigsty.
Well, the dumbest thing is he said when your friends come by, when you have visitors, you clean up your house. Like, how about just keep your fucking house clean?
Can you imagine?
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard anybody say ever as a governor as to excuse to why you finally cleaned up your homeless problem.
And the day he left,
Right back to
it
it.
went right back.